and gentlemen, to a new episode of Today's Youth. And today we're delighted to be joined by Amira Zaiton. She's a student at the Faculty of Applied Arts. Thank you for joining us, Amira.
Thank you, Naveen, for having me today.
Amira, you're a student in Applied Arts, but you were previously in the Faculty of Engineering, and you stayed for 2 years, then you left and you transferred to Applied Arts. Tell me, why did you make this move?
Yes, actually, I've worked really hard to get into engineering school. Since I was in high school, I thought that it was the big dream for me, as well as many students, many high school students. Engineering school is marketed and is one of the best schools, universities in Egypt.
And you went to Cairo University, which is a very distinguished university. Yes. So why did you make this move? I mean, why did you decide to leave engineering?
Since high school, I've had this artistic side in my personality. And I thought that I would be able to embrace it if I joined engineering school, majoring in architecture. But getting into architecture, I discovered that it was way more
not what you
theoretical
than it's not actually theoretical, but maybe it's not that artistic as you wanted it to be.
Yes. I like to embrace my creative side. And it didn't give me the space to embrace it.
Though you were studying architecture, right?
Yes, I majored in architecture.
Yeah. So what about that move? I mean, how did you do it? How did you convince your parents to change your Faculty of Engineering, which is a very distinguished thing here in Egypt? They consider it one of the top universities.
Okay. That's a funny question.
It was not an easy
it wasn't easy
to convince your parents and the people around you, right?
It wasn't easy at all. It came for them as a really big shock. Since they thought I really wanted to join architecture school, and
you worked hard.
And I worked really hard.
High school years.
During high school, I was an IGCSE student. I failed some subjects, and I insisted on retaking them in order for me to get into engineering school. So it wasn't an easy decision at all.
Yeah. And when you moved on to Applied Arts, what was your feeling and how did you cope?
At first, I was feeling a bit lost, but they provided me with all the guidance that I needed there.
You started from the very beginning?
No. There were some subjects
considered, so you went to the second year?
Oh, yeah, I enrolled into the second year directly.
Yeah, the basic subjects were similar.
Engineering schools.
Because Applied Arts, they are considered a sort of engineering, right?
Some majors enroll later.
The basic studies are the same. Right. Tell me, what are you specialized in Applied Arts?
I'm enrolled in the Fashion and Textile Printing Technology program. It's a really good program. If you want me to talk about the program, I could talk about it for ages.
I would like you to tell me more about your major. I mean, the textile and fashion design, which is a new major actually here in Egypt, right?
It's a new major.
Yeah.
The major of fashion design and the major of textile printing and technology were separate, but combining both majors is a new idea. Actually, Helwan University is the first university in Egypt to develop such program. It combines both textile printing and textile dyeing and technology, as well as the making of the garment.
Mm-hmm.
So it takes, if we look at each garment or clothing piece as a story, it takes the story from the beginning, since the garment was thread, till it became a clothing piece that people wear and love. We also study some marketing aspects and within the major. So the field has been really enchanting for me.
Well, that was what you really wanted from the beginning.
Yes.
Great. This is very good news, to study what you like and to work in the field that you love. What are your plans for the future? I mean, you're studying what you like, so what are your plans for the career, the future career?
For the future career, I don't think that I'm certain what I want to do now.
Do you want to be a fashion designer?
Yes, but I think that I'm in a state in my life where I want to try new things, as well as try new things, gain more experiences, intern in fashion, elaborate fashion houses. When I got into the field, I discovered that there are numerous aspects and numerous directions that I could take within the major.
You want to have your own fashion house, or you want to work in a well-known fashion house in Egypt or internationally? There are many roads.
Personally, I
many
think
paths.
I'd love to have my own fashion brand one day, but I am still at the state where I need to learn more and gain more experiences. So even if I want to develop my own fashion brand or own fashion house in the future, where I express my beliefs when it comes to sustainability, right now I need to learn from other people.
Right. We're not going to mention names of fashion designers, of course, but I would like you to tell me who's your, how do you see role models here in Egypt in the field of fashion design, without mentioning names, I mean.
Okay. Personally, I think that the fashion design major has been gaining a lot of attention.
Recently.
Yes.
And now we are having fashion designers that are going internationally.
Yeah. It's been gaining a lot of attention from the youth. Local brands have been starting every day.
Right. Amira, we're going to go to a short break and we'll be right back to continue on this point.
Thank you.
Welcome back, and once again with my guest Amira. We were talking about fashion designing and your passion for fashion designing. Tell me, how do you see Egypt in the future of fashion designing? I mean, we're going now international.
Yes, I've been really fond of the current fashion approaches by Egyptian fashion designers. I've been really fond with numerous fashion designers in Egypt, since I've noticed that they focus on the sustainable approach. Many local brands focus on the sustainable approach, approaching fashion in a more sustainable and eco-friendly way, using more materials that take less toll on the environment to produce, and using better ways to dye fabrics.
So you mean using natural fabrics, using natural ways of dyeing fabrics? Tell me, how does this take place?
How does this take place is a really sophisticated matter, since the dyeing process, I thought before enrolling in university, in fashion school, I thought that the dyeing process is really simple, but dyeing experts are called engineers. It's a really complex matter. But very briefly, some dyes are really harmful to the planet, as they mainly use chemicals.
Are they harmful for the environment or harmful for the people wearing it?
Both, actually.
Both?
Some dyes can take fast fashion. Sadly, fast fashion consumers are subjected to lots of harmful chemicals within dyes and finishing products. But
I mean, more than half of the world now is wearing from fast fashion houses, right?
Yeah, sadly. But on the other hand, if we take a look on many local brands here in Egypt, they focus more on producing a more eco-friendly,
natural, eco-friendly.
Yes, and our studies in university focuses a lot on producing more eco-friendly products, more dyeing products, or preparing fabrics in more eco-friendly ways. Since it's been the trend all over the world.
What are the challenges do you think that are facing producing eco-friendly materials and eco-friendly clothes or anything? It's not an easy thing. I mean.
It's a field with new research emerging every day, so the base knowledge is not fully founded yet. Moreover, materials tend to be more expensive, as hemp is a more eco-friendly material, but it's as an alternative. It acts as an alternative for cotton, which needs less water to produce and less preparation to be able to create the garment. But it's way expensive, way more expensive than cotton.
So the end product of an eco-friendly piece of cloth will be much more expensive than the fast fashion products,
yes.
Right?
Currently
in Egypt and worldwide.
Worldwide.
And how can this be overcome? How can they overcome this disadvantage? I mean, it's not going to be easy to sell eco-friendly piece of cloth. So how can this be I mean, are there research to overcome this?
Of course, there are researches to repurpose fabrics, which could bring down the cost. But mainly, we are focusing. Our focus as or as consumers should be on getting our clothes second-hand, as it's a garment that has already been produced, and that would go to waste if we don't reuse it. So buying clothes second-hand is an amazing idea if you care about the environment.
Right. Amira, we're going to go to a short break and we'll be right back.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome back, and once again with my guest Amira. Amira, we were talking about fashion designing, your passion for fashion designing, and you also told me that you have a platform and you were conducting a research now on how to use your heritage, the Egyptian heritage, to produce clothes related to this heritage. I mean, like the Bedouin heritage, for example, how do they dress, which is very fashionable worldwide. They love it. Tell me your theme of this research.
Oh, yes. Currently, I'm working on a research platform, but I'm still in a research state of researching traditional clothes. The main theme, or the purpose, I can call it the purpose of creating that platform, is raising awareness on traditional clothing in general. We as Egyptians have numerous traditions, from Amazirs to Nubian people to Bedouin people in Sinai. And each...
we have also Amazigh here, right?
We have in Siba.
Yeah.
So the cultural diversity within Egypt is really broad. And we need to bring more awareness to such topics, as each and every aspect or each and every culture or traditional piece within Egypt represents each Egyptian citizen. And each one of us should be aware of their heritage and the culture they're surrounded with. Moreover, numerous designers nowadays in Egypt and abroad take inspiration from Egyptian culture. And we as Egyptians don't even get to recognize how amazing or how inspiring our culture is.
Right. Well, Amira, I would like to thank you very much for joining us today, and I wish you a bright future in the field of fashion designer and fashion designing, because I see you so passionate about it. So I think you will have a bright future since you love what you're doing.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for joining us. And dear viewers, that brings us to the end of this edition of today's Youth. Many thanks for watching, and don't forget to join us next week, same time. Till then, goodbye.